pull up, grab the fuel nozzle, and get ready to fuel up on trends and strategies to grow your travel center business in this episode of The Truck Stops Here, brought to you by the NATSO Foundation. Now, here's your host, Amy Toner.
Hello, and welcome to today's episode of The Truck Stops Here. I'm your host, Amy Toner. You are listening to The Truck Stops Here, the NATSO Foundation's podcast. The NATSO Foundation is the research, education, and public outreach subsidiary of NATSO. This podcast is just one of the many educational tools the foundation creates. I'm so lucky today I have my co-host, Darren, with us. Darren Schulte is the Vice President of Membership and my sometimes co-host, and he's going to kick us off by introducing our guest.
Absolutely. Thank you, Amy. NATSO members, and other listeners, I'd like to introduce you to my friend and NATSO member, Sohail Butt, who is the Chief Financial Officer for University Korner, and they're based out of Pennsylvania. With that, Amy, back to you.
All right. So I understand that UK Travel Center is in the process of being built and expected to open at the end of the year, and I'm so excited to hear about it. Can you tell us what you have planned?
Well, thank you very much, Amy. And thank you for inviting me to your show.
Yeah.
So this Travel Plaza, which is named as UK University Korner, short name,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Travel Plaza and Truck Stop, we are building on I-80 corridor in Western Pennsylvania. So this is a sort of new build. It used to be an old truck plaza over there about 15 years ago. So we just tore it down almost to bare bone and rebuilding the whole thing.
How did you choose the location where you're building it?
Well, because we live here, we work here, our businesses are nearby. So this is the main determination whether we should go from our comfort zone. Truck Stop is our new business that we are entering into. So we really want to stay close to where we live and where we have existing business. So it makes sense for us to manage it more comfortably. And second thing is, which you mentioned that earlier, the I-80. The location is great. It's on Interstate 80. And I think Interstate 80 is probably the largest truck stop, traffic-wise, truck route. It runs from New York all the way to California. It touches all the main cities, including Pittsburgh or Chicago, Detroit, and many other cities on the west. And it's a very busy route. So we found that this place is ideal for our truck stop.
You did touch on it a little bit, but can you tell us more about how it came about?
Well, we came about this truck stop is getting into a truck industry is new to us. We are basically University Korner is a family-owned business. Let me just take you a little bit behind the scene. And UK is a franchise name, and we are in the retail business. We have C-stores, we have gas stations, and some other vertical businesses. And then we decided to come into truck stop, owning and operating it. So we just, and this truck happened to be an old truck stop used to be there, and an opportunity came to us, and we grabbed it.
When did you start?
We started the idea of having the truck stop basically started about 5 years ago.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, when the COVID started, and when I was dragged into this family business, I was basically doing a very comfortable job in New York City.
Okay.
And then my brother one day called me and said, "Hey, we are buying this a great opportunity of several package of C-stores and gas stations, and we can operate it, but we don't have anybody to manage it from the back office perspective. And would you like to come join us?" I said, "Sure, why not?" And then from about 5 years ago, this thing happened, and about the same time period, I lived in New Jersey back then, and here in Pennsylvania, Clarion City, Clarion is about hour and a half north of Pittsburgh, right on I-80.
Hmm.
A small university town, basically, rural type of living. And back then, I used to travel a lot between New Jersey and Clarion, and I noted that um, it was the beginning of the COVID. Everything was shutting down. Truck stops and C stores were the only businesses which were alive as an essential business.
Right.
And I said, we have the C stores, and why can't we have the truck stop as well? So I looked into this, I researched, and I found out that we can do it. And this way we got into this business. I bumped the idea with my business partners, family, and they
Hmm.
liked it. We start searching for locations, and luckily we found this location which is close to our Clarion area, and that's how we all started this.
So, over the last 5 years, at any point, have you regretted this decision?
No, we do not
No.
regret any. I think this is a great opportunity. It's a good decision that we made.
Okay, I'm going to make Darren answer this one. Darren, a couple weeks ago, you told me I have to interview Sohail because there's so much cool stuff happening there. Can you tell us what's there? I know well, you tell us.
You bet. Well. First and foremost, I would say one of the things that I found really wonderful about Suhail is he said, when we look at the traffic on I-80 during the day, Darren, take a look at what it looks
Hmm.
like at nighttime. So he and I visited some stores at night, and it looked like a locomotive train of trucks. There was just so much traffic. It was first time
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in years, and so it was just that was fascinating. But without giving, stealing any of his thunder, the what they plan on doing at Yuki Travel Center is going to be very, very unique. Their focus is going to be on making sure that the drivers have a home away from a home from a uniqueness standpoint. So everyone has showers, everybody has food and so forth like that. But they're going to kind of, take it a step higher. And what I mean by that specifically is they want the drivers to relax and feel comfortable when they
Yeah.
stop. So what is that going to mean? One of his ideas, and again, I won't steal the thunder, is going to be a relaxation room, and I'll let Suhail maybe speak a little bit more to that. But
Hmm.
they know that drivers often don't get out of the trucks, and one of their blessings is they've not really been involved in this business, so they're looking
Yeah.
at it at fresh lenses. So there's really no place to relax in truck stops other than a lounge, right? But we
Yeah.
all know that lounges are tired and no one goes in. And their thought process, well, let's step that up. Let's create reasons for that driver to come in. And I'll let Suhail speak to one of his ideas. And the second piece is the food options that they're going to eventually place in there. They really do understand that speed is a critical, important piece to the drivers. And
Hmm.
secondarily, when is that food available? What we noticed going up and down I-80 at nighttime, there was a lot of places that didn't have any food to offer. And so they're going to approach that business completely opposite. They're going to make sure that if a truck driver pulls into their property late at night, he or she will have the ability to get food.
Yeah. So thanks, Darren, and I really appreciate, Darren, that you came and gave us your valuable advice. I think nobody could have given us such a feedback, inside feedback,
Thank you.
and we end up making a bunch of changes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So usually I ask what makes you unique, but there's just so much stuff going on that makes it one of a kind. Was that important to you guys?
Yes, I think it is important that we give the best experience to our truckers and our
Hmm.
regular customers as well. So
Hmm.
we are expecting three kind of draws over there. One is, of course, the truckers,
Hmm.
and then the long haul travelers in the cars, and
Hmm.
the third one is the local one. So it is challenging for us to make sure that we can keep all these three segments happy,
Yeah.
and we are trying our best, and that's why we needed some expert advice. such as Darren's. And on Darren's behalf, I talked to some other truck stop owners, operators, and they gave me some good advices as well. So I end up making some, accepting some of those, most of them,
Hmm.
and yeah. So it is a challenge for us because it's a big investment, and
Yeah.
we want to make it right.
Yeah. Yeah. One of my questions was there anything that you changed along the way? Is there something that stands out for you that you were planning to do and now you're not, or you changed, or
Well,
something new?
I think overall, from construction perspective and from
Yeah.
offering perspective, we changed a few items, and about 20% change if you want to
Okay.
quantify them,
Yep.
more or less. But major change, I think, was make the truck parking available for customers only. If customer is not coming inside or not getting any fuel from you, you don't need them, and they probably don't need us as well. And the second thing is also making sure that you have enough space and enough room for RV travelers or the haulers, like a boat or some other long base
Yeah.
vehicles,
Uh-huh.
and make enough room and enough space and feel them comfortable so that they come back.
Yeah.
And there were other changes as well, such as creating a dog park,
Yep.
or putting some benches and children play area outside, so
Hmm.
that you attract female or family oriented travelers. So this, I think these are big changes. And from inside, of course, we want to make sure that food experience is unique and one of the best in this area.
Tell us more about the food.
Well, we are going to have primarily three food concepts. One
Hmm.
is, we all know Dunkin' Donuts, the good old Dunkin' Donuts, and Jimmy John's.
Hmm.
And the third one is, we have our own UK branded some ethnic food, like
Okay.
Indian, Pakistani food. It's named as curry and Korean grill.
Hmm.
We have not finalized the name yet, but you're going to experience, if you come there as a driver, a freshly made naans, which is the bread,
Yep.
some tandoori chicken, some sort of, like, I don't know if you heard about biryani, or food like really famous for in other part of the world. So those are the three main concepts. And then of course we will have the pizza ready all the
Hmm.
time,
Hmm.
and some burgers and fresh salad, some veg experience as well, people who don't eat meat, and of course grab and go.
It's a lot of food.
It's a lot of
Sounds good.
food, and it's a challenge to fit all these together, but I
Hmm.
think we cover well in our view, and hopefully our customers will love it.
Sounds delicious. Okay, so I understand that you're going to house employees. Why did you decide to do that, and how will it work?
Yes, the on a second floor there is a space for motel, a small motel, and we are not experienced in motel, nor do we want to be in a motel business on a truck stop property. And we decided that we are going to repurpose those rooms for employee housing, and if employee choose to live there, he or she would live there. We'll have separate room, or perhaps
Hmm.
if two people can join in one big room, fine. We'll have their own separate bathrooms, we'll have their own privacy, we'll have a common living area and a
Hmm.
common kitchen. We'll
Hmm.
have other, anything. We will try to provide the home atmosphere over there. And since it's on the second floor where customer typically would not go, um, and also this way we will have the employees available anytime if they want to work, for example, overtime, and somebody doesn't show up, you can easily bring in, just a few steps away. And the travel plaza is going to be open 24 hours. So I think that this is the best way to solve our employee problems, since we are at a remote location. And if the weather is bad, for example, snow, people cannot come in, then that you have 10, 15 employees right there. They can work. So I think it's going to work out good.
What do you think, Darren?
I do. I think it's quite unique because what's really quite interesting is if you just go up the road a little bit, you're into New York City, and we all know what the costs are living in New York City and so forth. And
Yeah.
I think there's a great opportunity for folks that are just starting out, to go to work for University Korner and have so much of a major cost reduced and an opportunity to start fresh, whether you are new to the country or whether you're a young person or so forth. Like as Sohail mentioned, they're in a university community. So you can imagine, the opportunity if you're a student to say, wow, this can help offset some of my costs while I'm at the university potentially. I think there's a huge upside for that for them.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I love the attention to wellness. Darren's always talking about how NATSO members must treat professional drivers as customers and real people with feelings and needing attention, which, duh. You are nailing that with you have the meditation room, the non-denominational prayer room, and an exercise room. Did I get them all?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you decide to offer those?
Well, thanks for asking all these. These are the unique concept, I think.
Yeah.
Some of them at least. I know exercise room is in most of the truck stops. You will find one. We thought of creating a contemplation room. When I used to work in Manhattan as a professional accountant, we used to have in the building a contemplation room where you go and relax and pray or not pray, just your own time. So I thought maybe I should bring that idea here because really, truckers, we all are human. And truckers are, on the road for so many hours, probably alone, or likely. So I think they need some time outside of their truck cabin, come outside and sit in a room and just relax, a moment of private meditation or prayers when nobody will interrupt them. So that is one room, that contemplation room we are building. And another one, a unique idea in my view, I don't think any truck stop has it right now, is the Himalayan pink salt room. It is a room with salt around you.
Yeah.
And salt, which is also, you name it as a halotherapy, which is the salt therapy, it basically involves the breathing in air with tiny salt particles to improve your breathing. And halotherapy is considered an alternative treatment for lungs problem, such as asthma or bronchitis or cough. And it also can help you relax and may help with skin conditions or allergies. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a healthcare person, but this is, you can read it and search it on Google.
Yeah.
And this is, I think, a unique experience. Not many people know about it. And halotherapy is often done in a spa-like salt room where the walls, the ceilings, the floor, and the whole thing is made of salt. So you just sit there maybe 45 minutes, an hour, and on a chair and relax barefoot because you will feel salt pebbles on the floor, and it will help you soothing. And if you have any problems with allergies or asthma or breathing, it helps. So we are building a separate room for that. Obviously, it will be monetized. And we are hoping that our customers, especially the truckers, would like it.
Sounds amazing.
It does, Amy. I will tell you, when he first shared this with me, if they nail this, I shared with him, people will be coming up to take a look at it. Other groups will want to interview him, because when he showed me the concept of it, it's quite amazing. And again, we're always struggling to get the drivers to come inside the store.
Yeah.
And if he gets that message out and some folks go in there and enjoy it, I think he's on to something because it's unique, it's different. It's going to get someone to get out of their truck and at least try it. There's a huge opportunity there.
Yeah, we are. I am basically lining up my supply chain on this as well because bringing the um, salt bricks, it's like a regular normal brick, and the boulders, those are big rocks, and it's a task to manage all
Okay.
this, and then
Yeah.
putting them on a wall and making sure that it's secure and properly placed. All these things take some engineering and little bit thinking. So we have contemplation room, a Himalayan pink salt room, and we also have an exercise room where truckers can come inside and do exercise, like a treadmill or the free weights or something like that. And other uniqueness to our truck stop would be a dog park, which we want to build for outside, of
Yep.
course, along with the benches and all the good stuff over there, so that people who travel with dogs can use it.
Sounds amazing. Okay. I hear you have a cricket practice area for staff. Is that right?
Yeah, well, in fact, the cricket is my partner who started all this. Yasir,
Uh-huh.
his name,
Okay.
Yasir Bhatti. He started the UK franchise back 15 years ago, and he likes
Hmm.
cricket. He plays cricket.
Okay.
He
Hmm.
has professionally graded a couple of cricket fields as well in the
Hmm.
area where the professional team, minor leagues come and play. And it is like a baseball field, but not like a diamond, rather a round field.
Hmm.
And he also owns a minor league in the area where he takes his team on the weekends and go to DC or Detroit or other nearby cities and play the games. We also have a practice net of cricket in our warehouse. We have about 15,000 square feet warehouse where we supply all our goods to our stores.
Yep.
So we try to keep, we live in a remote area, keep in mind,
Yeah. Hmm.
and we need to keep people engaged and healthy and entertained as well.
Awesome. Okay. Do you have any tips for other locations that are embarking on a big project like this, a new build?
Yeah, I think it is for us. It's a huge learning curve,
Yeah.
and we learn based on some good feedback. People like Darren
Hmm.
and some other good folks around us, and our
Hmm.
experience and research. So I would say that starting a big project like this, it's huge. It's nowadays the economic condition of the country is that banks are not very friendly in lending money to construction projects. It might
Hmm.
change tomorrow. I don't know.
Yeah. Hmm.
But starting any project, just make sure that you stay on top of it
Yeah.
and you offer those services or goods or food which is in now. Don't
Yeah.
offer yesterday's stuff. I give you a small example,
Hmm.
which Darren also showed me, is that the space where truckers come in and sit, the lounge. Nobody uses lounge anymore.
Yeah.
So lounge, but you still need to give some sort of lounge area so where people can come. So just make sure don't waste your space as well,
Hmm.
and stay on top of all the changes. Technology is changing, drivers' behaviors are changing, the food concepts are changing, and people just want to be, grab and go, rush, move, quick, and just follow that step when you're constructing or rehabilitating any of your truck stop. And I'm always welcome if anybody asks me any questions.
Okay. All right. So before I let you go, I have some fun questions.
Sure.
Okay. What do you prefer to ride or drive?
drive.
Drive. Okay.
Absolutely.
What is your go-to on the road snack?
Pizza.
Pizza. Okay.
Not
How do
healthy.
you take? No, it can't be healthy. How do you take your truck stop coffee?
Black, no sugar.
Black. Okay. If you're stuck in a snowstorm in a truck stop, how would you pass the time?
If internet is there, obviously iPhone.
Okay. All right. So the last one's the most important. Are you going to have a grand opening, and are you going to invite me and Darren?
Absolutely. You will be
Okay.
my guest of honors. Absolutely.
perfect.
Anybody who wants to come see this place, welcome.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, and thank you, Darren.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you,
Thank you.
Sohail.
Thank you
Okay,
very
and
much.
thanks for listening to today's episode of the Truck Stops Here. You can find us online at natso.com/podcast. If you have any questions or you want to be on the podcast, reach out to me at atoner@natsofoundation.org. All right, bye guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care.
The Truck Stops Here was brought to you by the NATSO Foundation, the research, education, and public outreach subsidiary of NATSO. The Truck Stops Here is produced by the NATSO Foundation in collaboration with Human Factor. Producers are Amy Toner and Darren Schulte.